Over the years, video games have changed considerably, from the first vector display games to retro arcade games, analog home consoles, and new digital consoles that are available to the masses. Video games aren't what they used to be. Nevertheless, they still attract a large following.
You've been playing video games since I was a kid, and I just find it enjoyable just to escape reality for a little while, just to have some fun playing some characters, shoot up some aliens.
I got my first video game console when I was about 9 years old. I'm 12 now.
It's kind of like everybody else does it, and so I get hooked.
No, I got a grenade. I have a grenade. Just back up.
Should I substitute it for my M14 or?
Yes, substitute it for your M14. Keep your automatic gun. You're gonna need it.
I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and gaming is a big thing in my house. We have a huge screen in my house, and they play the Wii and they play the PlayStation and that thing all day if I let them.
I like games where I don't have to make a lot of decisions, a lot of choices. Strategy type games are not my thing. I want to just be able to zone out.
Even when I was a teen, we played the pinball machines because we enjoyed it and had a ball, even though I owned a lot of them. We just enjoyed it and never considered it a way of life. This is what you call the multi-Williams, which Williams had the Defender, the Joust, the Robotron, your Miss Pac-Man, your Galaga, Donkey Kong, Frogger, Centipedes, all the games from the 80s that everybody plays. And it's a real game, so it's not like this thing you play with your fingers. Nice simulator. It's like driving a real race car.
As a kid, I was one of those people that would sit for hours and play video games, and I loved it. And me and all of our friends were like, it would be great to work at a video game store.
These machines are designed to go into bars, bowling alleys, skating rinks, and just get beat up. And you take a PlayStation, throw it down on the floor, kick it across the room, I doubt that it's going to keep working.
Everything that comes in with the 360s and PS3s is just a simple overheating problem. So it's relatively simple. It sounds terrible, but nothing actually breaks. This is the actual Blu-ray drive, and underneath that, all of this right here, this is the motherboard. That's where all the actual work happens.
The difference between the older ones and the newer ones is the size of the equipment that runs it. And you see all the boards in this thing here? See here? Down in the bottom, up here, all those boards to run one machine. That's what runs all 60 games now. As opposed to all those boards you just saw in that one machine, this is what runs the whole thing. So if you look in the back of that cabinet, you'll see it's empty.
Graphics is definitely one of the things that has expanded over the years. You also have now all the mobile phones games. Those are starting to become really big too. Ask somebody 20 years ago if they would ever play a video game on a phone, no one would ever hear of it.
There's so much you can do with your phone now, and I actually just went and got this phone today. It's got the dual-core processor. It's nice. You can do lots of stuff with it, but the fact is it doesn't have the same power. Like, it's meant for lots and lots of things, whereas a console is meant for gaming, and that's it.
A lot of stuff. From the original Miss Pac-Man up there, what we do is we strip all these cabinets out and stuff and might use them for something else. The play fields I just hung up there, I still get parts off of them. Few people have actually bought the whole play field. They want it lit up so they could hang it on their own wall. This is the old 1967 pinball machine.
I guess I'm the Pac-Man generation. It seems pretty simple to work a joystick and point it in any direction and avoid 5 or 6 random things on a screen.
Now you got today, you can easily look up online cheat codes. You can look up strategy guides. You can ask people on an online game help to do something. You get partners. Back in the arcades or the old Nintendo games, it was pretty much just by you. You get strategy guides, but you had to do everything with skill.
And we have a lot of younger kids, when they come here, they like to play the older games first and get comfortable with the older games.
Now I've got families that are buying them, grandparents, saying I'm a grandparent, grandparents that come in and buy it because they found there's something their grandkids can enjoy with them. Because the grandparents are not going to sit and play the Wii.
pursuit. I enjoy it simply because it gives me some exercise. That is, as soon as you let it go to give it that twist, I found out the ball goes right in the pocket.
Getting the Wii bowling going was a lot of residents that love to bowl.
Yes, and meeting my friends. And Wii bowling strikes every time I bowl. And my youngest grandson, Connor, beat me in Wii bowling. I didn't appreciate that.
I think the fact that you can get engaged into a different world, you can be whoever you want to be in that particular game, I think is very enticing.
Well, it's almost like reading a series of books. You get into it and it becomes so familiar that the people are almost like family members in a really dorky sort of sense.
Some of the other games they play are intellectually challenging. There's some that they build cities and have battles and chase bad guys and do all kinds of things.
It seems like there's a story built behind it. There's action coming from all different areas.
Let's go.
Kids should not play for more than 2 to 3 hours a day. Teenagers have a little bit more control over themselves. They can do, you know, maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, but they should not spend the entire day doing it.
I'd spend 2 or 3 hours a day playing video games, but right after that, I went outside.
To do physical activity for as many hours, minutes you want to play. So if you go running for half an hour, you get half an hour of play. I think the next revolution in video games will be 3D games.
3D technology has actually been around since the 70s. People just don't know about it because it's too expensive to make. Now it's getting easier for things like that to be produced, and it's not a problem at all. People are going to start having them in their houses.
I think they're going to like put us in bodysuits and do virtual things next after 3D.
And you can probably eventually start having holograms maybe on your desk where, just like a fighting game, you would have 2 characters just on your desk.
Everyone's entitled to their own thing. Some people knit, some people play sports, some people play video games.